Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you. Thank you for joining me for this continuing discussion on the Quran in dialogue with other faiths and scriptures. Today, I want to look at the Golden Rule. What is it? Why has some objected to it? And how can we apply the Golden Rule in our lives today? And in what way does the Golden Rule get represented across religions and cultures? So, let us start with the Quran to see what the Quran tells us about being kind to the people around us. Surah 4, Surah An-Nisa, and starting with verse number 36. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا وَبِذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْيَتَامَى وَالْمَسَاكِينِ وَالْجَارِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْجَارِ الْجُنُبِ وَالصَّاحِبِ بِالْجَنبِ وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ وَمَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ مَنْ كَانَ مُخْتَالًا فَخُورًا. Okay, let me stop there, all right, because it goes on, but I want to keep it short and sweet. Verse number 36, worship God alone and associate none with him and be kind to parents, relatives, orphans, the poor, near and distant neighbors, close friends, needy travelers, and those bondspeople in your possession. Surely God does not like whoever is arrogant, boastful. So the Quran in this verse is giving us a number of categories of people to whom we can be kind and charitable. Our parents, relatives, orphans, the poor, near and distant neighbors, and so on. Even the person who is traveling, they may be stranded or something like this. Watch out for scams. But if there's a genuine case in which somebody is stranded while traveling, yes, it is our obligation to help all of those people. And we shouldn't be stingy or promote stinginess or be boastful because God does not like all of those things. Now, if we turn to other passages of the Quran, we will see something close to what is known as the Golden Rule. As you know, the Golden Rule is often what people cite as do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And somebody made it funny by saying do unto others and then scram. Okay, no, not that. All right, do good unto others. And then, of course, you'll be sticking around and it should be the things that you would like them to do unto you. Now, those exact words are not in the Quran, but the Quran says basically the same thing in so many different ways. For example, in another verse in the Quran, in Surah 41, Surah Fussilat, starting with verse number 34, God says that we should be kind even to the person who is doing wrong to us. So we should not repel evil with evil, but repel evil with good. Idfa billati hiya ahsan. So when somebody does evil to us, we should do good to them. فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ. Then it will be that such that the person between whom and you there was some enmity will become as a warm friend. So if you're to do good even to your enemies, well, this is the epitome, and this is what the Golden Rule really is all about. Moreover, in Surah 2, verse number 83, the Quran says, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا, and speak to people in a gentle manner, like speak kindly to people. And this is general for all people. So we find that something like the Golden Rule is there in the Quran, though not expressed in the same words. Now let's turn to see those words that are famous for the Golden Rule. And let's see where it is in the Bible as attributed to Jesus, on whom be peace. In the Bible, in the Gospel according to Matthew, and also in the Gospel according to Luke, we find the statement. Luke chapter 6, verse 31, I believe it is. But let's look at Matthew chapter 7, verse number 12. In everything, do to others as you would have them do to you, for this is the law and the prophets. Now, of course, this statement is there prior to Jesus as well, or something like it. In the Old Testament of the Christian Bible, which is basically the Jewish Bible, we find in Leviticus chapter 19, starting with verse number 17, you shall not hate in your heart any one of your kin. You shall reprove your neighbor, or you would incur guilt yourself. You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against any of your people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. Now, this idea that you should love your neighbor as yourself, this is, of course, a way of encapsulating the same golden rule. And in the Talmud, a commentary on the Bible, the Jewish rabbis said, what you hate for yourself, do not do unto others. So that's a different way of expressing the golden rule. So what is called the golden rule and attributed to Jesus, on whom be peace, is widely known across religions and cultures. In the Buddhist Pali Canon, it is mentioned just as a woman loves, like she would sacrifice herself for the sake of her only son, so too one must be kind to other people. And we find it also in the statement of Confucius, almost like exactly the golden rule, do unto others what you would have them do unto you. Seeing that this golden rule is expressed again among so many different religions and cultures gives us a great hope that the religions, though different in so many different respects, are so similar in so many other respects, and of course in this very important teaching. The golden rule has been criticized by some, including Friedrich Nietzsche, Sigmund Freud, and Immanuel Kant. A very simple criticism of this is to say, well, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So basically it means whatever you want people to do to you, then you do that to others. But then the other person may not really want exactly what I want for myself. So if I do for the other person what I want for myself, that may not really come across well to the other person. So some have said, okay, well, why don't we change this to say, do unto others as they would want you to do to them. But then that too is not totally satisfactory, because the other person may either demand less than they really deserve, or they may be demanding more. In each case, that is a problem. So we can say, okay, do unto others what is appropriate, but then that calls into question the whole idea of justice and so on. Do what is just, what is fair. So maybe that's a better way. But do unto others as you would have them do unto you. For all the criticism against it, you can say, well, we have to start somewhere, and at least we know how we would feel in a certain situation. So let's, it may not be too much to project that onto the other person as a starting point. Of course, the more we get to know the other person, what their likes and desires and so on, and of course what they're allergic to, the more we know how appropriately to deal with that person. But at least this is a good starting point. So I would defend the golden rule on that score. Secondly, people have criticized it by saying, well, maybe this is too lofty a principle, and maybe it's that kind of thing which everybody is going to say, but nobody is going to do, because it is too out of reach. Isn't that too much to demand of people to act in this way? And again, we can say, okay, well, that's an ideal, and knowing that ideal may give people something to work towards. So people might start thinking, okay, let me at least do some part of that, right? Now, turning back to the Quran, we see that the Quran actually puts it very nicely by giving us various categories of individuals and saying, okay, you need to be kind to all of these persons. And the Quran gives us also the ideal that you can be kind even to your enemy, with the hope that that enemy can actually convert and become a friend. And to speak to people kindly, this, is easy for anyone to do. As they say, smiles are free, and it doesn't cost you anything to say a good word or a kind word to somebody else. As for the hadith, it is mentioned in the hadith, لا يحب أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. None of you truly believes until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. So it is a popular Islamic teaching as well, similar to the golden rule. Now, seeing this golden rule across the various world's religions gives us a lot of hope for the future. It means that if we study the religions in a comparative way, we can bring out a lot of similarities, and we can publicize these similarities, bringing people together closer and closer than ever before in our divided world. Let us end on a happy note, knowing that we are in the month of Ramadan and we can share this message with other people, especially those who are curious about Islam. They may be asking you, why are you fasting? Or what are the rules of fasting? And can I fast too, along with Muslims? Some people may want to experience it for themselves. Talk to them about the golden rule. This is part of that golden rule. They want to experience what Muslims are experiencing. They want to walk in Muslim shoes, at least for a day, and feel the hunger and the thirst, and in that way to empathize with people around the world, especially those who are suffering in various parts of the world, whether they be in Gaza, in the West Bank, the rest of Palestine, and also in the Sudan and in so many other parts of the world where people are suffering. Let us have compassion for those people, and let us follow the golden rule the way it is expressed in all of these great religions of the world. So join me tomorrow when we'll discuss in our continuing series on the Quran in dialogue with other faiths, the important question of righteous living and the 10 commandments. So how does that play out in the world's religions? How does that apply in Islam? Is there a Quranic verse that actually has something like the 10 commandments? We'll look at that tomorrow. So in the meantime, peace be with you and the mercy and blessings of God. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Muslim Media Hub. There's so much that happens in this building.
This is where we produce the television show called Let the Quran Speak.
And there are podcasts, shows, and documentaries in progress.
As you can see, this building is very essential for the good work that we're doing. This is why we purchased it for $2 million.
We've already paid off about a third of this building.
And we have another $84,000 to pay this year.
We're looking for 84 kind souls to give $1,000 each. Can you be one of those people?
I hope you will. Or give whatever you can. Every dollar counts.
Thank you, and may Allah bless you and your loved ones this Ramadan and always.
Peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak.
Assalamu alaikum.